Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at mines of Dalarnia, as well as the fact that we're kind of seeing how much more of a retracement we might anticipate. I got a lot of requests for this, of course, just based on the fact that we had a meteoric rise yesterday, and of course an unfortunate downtrend here today. And obviously we want to kind of estimate kind of where we're at here. And this isn't a I told you so video, because obviously I did anticipate the price to come back down to this point, but I also didn't expect it to come up as high as it did. So I mean, it's just kind of the way it goes sometimes with trading. But that being said, not a financial advisor. Hope you can learn something here today. Okay, so again, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love teaching people how to trade. CryptoCache.tech is the website if you want to become a better trader. I actually have a trading academy, community, and signal group. If you want to consider joining, we have over 250 members. It's an amazing experience. Thank you so much as well to my current community members for just being an awesome part of my life. It's great to be able to interact with you and work with you. That being said, here with Dar, let's talk about the obvious, which is pretty straightforward. Yesterday we had a pretty significant increase. I think, was it 100%? Yeah, 110% roughly from bottom to top in one trading day. It then proceeded to increase another 30% on top of that already high, very strong increase. And as I highlighted yesterday too, this one does have a tendency of shooting high and shooting low. It has very large candle wicks too. It's done this before in the past, and it's not to say that it's not going to do it again, but the bottom line is that this sell-off makes sense because it became overextended in such a short amount of time, not necessarily because of any fundamentals that are part of this. So again, regardless of those things that caused this to happen, the reason why it came back down is because it flew too far outside that standard deviation, and the price had to come back down to correct itself. Okay, and 0.5 on Fibonacci retracement, which is this green line here, is a very common place for the price to come back down and relax and to stop, and to effectively use that as a potential support and a bounce. Okay, so again, no guarantees on that, but the likelihood of it going much lower than 142 is less common, if you will. Right. Now it is also common, of course, for 0.382 Fibonacci retracement to also get tested. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the price come down as low as 130. But 130 to 155 should be the new range for Dalarnia. Okay. So just keep that in mind. That's generally the concept there of how Fibonacci retracement levels will work. Most of the time when you have these very strong increases, it'll almost always come back down to the halfway point. And the halfway point right now is roughly 142. Okay. That's kind of just some general thoughts there in that sense. Let's take a look quickly. We got rejected off 70 on the RSI because it went very high, very fast. It makes perfect sense. We also see the price got rejected off of $2.20, or more likely $2.22. But right at 220, we see that Fibonacci retracement level as well. So again, it's kind of just working itself within the ranges, and that's perfectly fine. That's very normal. And take a look here at the 4 hour. Here's kind of what we're looking at here as well. If we look at the moving averages, they're both below the current price action, so that's very much it doesn't really help us much. But the key takeaway here, actually, that does help us if it comes back down this low, is that we have the moving averages averaging around $1.15 to 110. So the price were to come that low, that should essentially be the bottom. That is the consolation of those type of moving averages. But a lot of times they're null and void because the price just takes off without them, and it takes a little while for them to catch up. Hopefully we don't have to worry about those touching or intersecting with the price action in the immediate future, but in a few days or weeks we will. All right. That being said, we've got a potential MACD divergence here, of course, forming where the price, the 12-day intersects with the 26-day EMA in a downward fashion, essentially providing you with a shift in momentum. But the bottom line is it shows that the bulls are losing control. Doesn't necessarily mean that the bears are going to just drive the price way down, but it does tell you that there was some profit taking here. And that's kind of what I was trying to warn you about yesterday, is that fact that whomever pushed the price action this high is equally also likely the person that pushed the price action down here as well. Because I know folks like you and I are not just buying this and then turning around and selling it immediately. It's very uncommon for that to happen. A lot of folks will buy on this more long term, but when it comes to the industry and the standards that they have, they're taking their profits based on the fact that the price shot up here. They got in at this price point and they're selling at this price point. and the rest of us are left in the middle. So again, that's just the natural way of how trading works. It's not fantastic, but it's just kind of the way of the world. So in that sense, greedy investments are gonna get their profits, and we got to try to anticipate that. And usually the Fibonacci retracement level of 0.5 is a good indication of where that price will come back down to if there's no continuation upwards. Obviously, we also want to acknowledge the fact that this sell-off here that we're seeing right now, Bitcoin has been retracing this time as well. And you also want to bear in mind that Bitcoin was on an uptrend when this happened. I'm not saying that they're completely synonymous by any stretch of the imagination, but I am telling you that if we look at Bitcoin, and you can see here's Bitcoin, right? We can see the price comes pretty much straight down in the first few hours of this morning. Comes up and then right back down again. And if you take a look at Dalarnia, you can see a very similar type of pattern. Okay, so again, I would just like to address the fact that paying attention to how Bitcoin is performing is a very, very strong catalyst for a lot of price action in most altcoins. And most altcoins right now are responding anywhere between 2 to 5x of Bitcoin. It's a knee-jerk reaction that happens as soon as Bitcoin sells off. Everyone sells their most profitable coins. And what do you know? Dalarnia up 110% in one day, an extra 30% again today. Why wouldn't it come back down? Okay, so again, just kind of some big picture thoughts help you understand that this is explained in a lot of different ways, but for the most part, it's corporate greed, and unfortunately, the state of Bitcoin being quite abysmal for the moment. Okay, so these kind of short little bursts that you're seeing are less common to happen for a long time, unless of course it's GMT or even Ape got corrected here today too. And those are some coins that have been taking a lot of market adoption, taking that dominance from Bitcoin and going into those altcoins. But unfortunately, this one's also getting caught in the crosshairs. So that's kind of where we're at there. Let's take a look at the cloud. We're coming down to test the cloud. There is potential we could get a bounce for the price to come up, or just go sideways here once again at 0.5. And that's the great thing about Fibonacci retracement level of 0.5, in the sense that when the price comes back down here, you can see it also running concurrent with the lower lead on the Ichimoku cloud. So the likelihood of the price consolidating going sideways from here is pretty high, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop like a rock soon, which is actually anticipated. So keep that in mind. Bitcoin does feel like it's working its way down. It's still honoring a descending trend line, and if it were to continue to break down, we should see 37,500 get tested again soon. 37.5 would cause Dalarnia to come down to 130 or possibly even 115. Again, to intersect with those moving averages we saw in the 4 hour. A handful of different things that you can kind of look at and theorize, but generally speaking, Dalarnia isn't in terrible shape, but it's not a coin that I'm going to recommend that you just jump right into and full on go head first. Obviously, invest wisely and use this as a small percentage of your portfolio. Coins like this should never be anything more than 1 to 5% of your portfolio. If it is, you're doing it wrong. And again, diversification is important. Those are things I teach in my trading academy, but for the most part here, at this point in time, we can kind of expect Dalarnia to kind of go sideways and down as a likelihood pending Bitcoin's behavior. So pay attention to Bitcoin, watch my daily Bitcoin videos if you want to get a better perspective on things. And when Bitcoin is recovering, of course, I think we'll probably see a lot more benefits from this coin. But for right now, these peaks and valleys, we're going to see that reflected in the price action here. And it's just going to happen, but not surprised to see the price leveling out where it's at right now. It's pretty much right where I was expecting. All right, anyways, regardless of that fact, I hope you did learn something here today, and obviously consider becoming a community member if you want to become a better trader. I have a trading academy, community, and signal group, and I send out signals for every trade that I take. And I'll be honest with you, there haven't been a tremendous amount of trades here recently, simply because of the state of the market right now. All right, we're waiting for confirmation from Bitcoin, and it's kind of just it's waffling around for a little while, and we're trying to figure it out, and I feel like we're almost there. It feels like Bitcoin wants to break down. Either way. Anyways, conversation for another day or every single day. Once again, check out my Bitcoin videos. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.